Okay. So I forgot to add the audio input to the recording. Okay. So this talk is gonna be called game design for the uneducated. Essentially what it's gonna be is it's gonna teach you how exactly to approach game design from a game designer perspective versus like someone like I don't know, just the idea guy and whatever. If you have any questions or any like things you wanna say, you can just put it in the Learn Design 2024 chat, and I have it like beside me. It's sort of like stream setup. So without further ado, let's jump into it. So who am I? I'm Kenneth. Please don't email me. Like these slides were used for my when I was TAing game development mod. So if you want to contact me, please use my Telegram, like here. I specialized in computer graphics and games, and these are just a few games I made over the 4 years I had. And yeah, this is what I'm working on. So this is an indie game that I've designed. It's sort of modeling it off of the case of the Golden Idol. So it's a detective game where you're supposed to solve the case using clues by getting help from a little girl who draws really shittily. So for example, all these lah. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I want to frame this as an introduction to game design workshop, and the goals for today will be learning what exactly is game design, learning about the different roles in game design, some frameworks on how you structure games and how you start structuring games, and some interactive activities. Okay, so since you are all like, how many people do you have? 15 maybe. I can't count. Anyway, for now, I guess we will either do the team activities like by yourself, or you can discuss it in the design chat. Yeah. Okay. So first of all, what is game design? Can anyone give me an explanation as to what exactly game design is? Anyone? You can type it out if you're shy. What is game design to you, or what do you think are some elements of game design? Okay, communicating ideas to your players. Okay, any more? Can we have one more person? If you're shy, you can type it out. It's yes. I understand people are introverted. You can also type it out. I see someone typing. Yes, yes. Please type. There are no wrong answers. You just have to prove them that they're right. Okay, one more person. I'm just gonna wait for a while for the guy to finish typing. Planning the main fun mechanic. Yeah, also okay. So basically it's actually their planner, right? And so I have this thing right here. It says like game design, so it's game design. You think about the systems, you think about problem solving, you think about the player experience, you're talking about what's alongside the gameplay loops, right? And there's also this like right side, which is basically like idea generation, design critiquing, and level design. Level design, it's like a 50-50 maybe, but essentially what it's saying is that game designers are not just the idea guys. Idea guys, I'll touch on later on when we go over the door problem. But game design is really more of a mathematical or a more like very front, like user facing role. So yeah, so let's talk about the door problem. So the door problem, I think this is the only slide I have. Yeah. So the door problem essentially is talks about for example, let's say there's a door in the game, right? And the different roles, depending on what role you are in the game, will depending on how you interact with this door. For example, if you are the gameplay programmer, you can say, oh, the door is unlockable by a player going like near to it. You can adjust a value that allows it to be an automatic door versus a manual door that you have to open or interact with. You also have like for example the audio engineer who says, okay, I will design all the sound effects that goes with the door, the creaking open and close. And finally we have the game designer who has probably the most painful job of all of this, besides the programmer I guess, which is basically all the intended behaviors when the player goes to near the door. There's a very big problem in game development right now. Uh, with doors, there's literally a guy in Ubisoft who just specializes in coding how the behaviors of a door work. There's a YouTube video on it. You can go and see if you're interested. But yeah, that's essentially the door problem. Now, what game designers are not are basically the idea guys. What's an idea guy? It's a person who really just says like, oh, I think it would be great like just to make a game, you know. I think the character can jump, you know, and I want it to be basically Super Mario. And then he delegates everyone to do their job, and then he just sits back and then wait for the game to get released. Do not be this person. Be an actual respectable game designer, and yeah, just be more accurate and more explicit in what your instructions. For example, don't just say, oh, the player can jump. You know, how high can the player jump? Is there like a button to cancel the jump prematurely? Can the player like attack in mid-air? Can the player slide in mid-air, dash in mid-air? That kind of all those issues, you just have to think about it as a game designer. Okay, game systems. Yes, so game designers have to think about what exactly the game systems are in each of these games. Can anyone tell me what these four games are? In like unmute yourself, just tell me or like in chat. Oh, awesome. Okay, this was the easy mode one. So yeah, so the game systems of all these games are pretty vastly different, I would say. Cuphead focus more on the boss rush mechanic, how to upgrade your shots or your different builds. Celeste, on the other hand, is more of like a puzzle platformer or puzzle precision platformer where you try and get to the top of the mountain as Celeste Mountain, so as Madeline. So actually, the character's name is Madeline, not Celeste. So Papers, Please is sort of like you play as a border patrolman. Just the whole gameplay is centered around approving or rejecting people to cross the border. And Hollow Knight, well, okay, I feel like I can spoil it. It's like you're basically a void person thing that's trying to steal the infection. Yeah, go play it. It's a great game. Yes. Okay, so now since we are all half asleep, probably because like a lot of people ate dinner, I'm just gonna give you a little bit of some probability question. Probably not really. Okay, but some design questions. Okay, so if you're recording, if you're watching this recording, just give yourself like pause the video or like skip forward once the time limit's up. Okay, so okay, so the first problem is very easy. Okay, this is a game called Scissors Paper Stone. Has anyone not played Scissors Paper Stone? I'm going to assume everyone has played Scissors Paper Stone. Okay, Scissors Paper Stone is a game, right? It's very easy. Someone has it's played with usually two players, and how the game works is that they'll go like scissors, paper, stone, and then they throw out one of these three things, which is either the rock, the scissors, or the paper, right? And there's sort of like a triangular relationship. So scissors beats paper, paper beats rock, rock beats scissors, and so on. Yeah, so it's strong. Something is strong against something, and something is weak against something. Okay, your job as a game designer is to think, what if, right? I want you to design scissors, paper, stone with just rock and scissors, right? If scissors, paper, stone is just like you remove paper completely, right? If you design a game with just rock and scissors, can the game, assuming both of the players are like will act rationally, do you think there will ever be a winner with just um two symbols like the rock and scissors? This is the part where you answer. You can type in the chat also. Yeah, so if I remove paper and I just have rock and scissors, will the game ever end? Or can there ever be a winner if I remove paper? You know game theory. Very good. Okay, so exactly. So everyone's just gonna keep throwing rock, right? Okay, so your head designer basically comes up to you and goes, "Hey, okay, so now your job, right? I want to keep the number of symbols same, so just rock and scissors at the same time, but I want you to design the game such that there will always be a clear winner. So that means you cannot draw in this game. For example, in old scissors paper stone, you can put if both of you put scissors, right? You draw, then you go into the next round. The game must end in one round. the game cannot have any draws. So that means they must have a clear winner after just one round, and the game has to have a fair probability of either person winning. So since it's a two-player game, right? You have and you just have rock and scissors, same thing, right? Can you design the game in such a way that it fulfills these three conditions? Okay, so to recap, game must end in one round. Game must be fair. Game must be fair for both players, like 50-50 chance of winning. Yeah. All right. I'll give you all like 2 minutes. Timer online. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Okay, time starts now. If you want, you can discuss in the chat. Yeah, I don't think I need to put the thing out, but yeah, you can discuss in the chat or you can just like um talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna mute for like the next 2 minutes. Just think about this problem, and if you come up with a solution, just put it in chat. Okay, gotta prevent the first two players from getting the same symbol. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, someone said first gotta prevent the two players from getting the same symbol. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wow, wow, that's very no, holy shit. Okay. Okay. Now let's go back to the problem. Okay, let's see some answers in Discord. Okay, so Yuan Cao says that first gotta prevent the two players from getting the same symbol. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna let you like cook on that idea because there's probably more to that. Whoever throws it first wins. Uh, okay, I would say that this is a non 50% chance. There's not like an um equal chance of either player winning. Yeah. So anyone else got any ideas? Hmm. Okay. So for example, if I'm so how do you decide the first and last period? Hmm. If say the last part again. Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's actually this is the first time I'm hearing this change in genre. Okay, what if right we take timing out of the equation. Both of these players have to throw a symbol at the same time, but it has to be an equal likelihood of each of them winning. So no, not nothing about timing. Pretend uh, like both of them have Parkinson's or something. Like we don't care about reaction time. Does anyone have any ideas? No, just one hand. You can only throw one symbol. Okay. A hint I will give you is basically before the start of the game, you can arrange whatever the heck you want. Yeah. You see like Linois try and talk. Do you have any ideas? Okay, I guess not. But yeah, anyone has any other ideas? This is to like stretch your mind a bit. Um, okay, if you think you really do have an idea, just really just throw it in the chat or like unmute. This. Mhm. Wow. Okay. That's actually yeah correct. Wow. Everyone give Zilong a round of applause. Yes, that is the optimal solution. So he's right. This is basically a game of odds and evens. And like the exciting or like the what do you call it? The inspiration from this problem actually came from the TV episode Friends. So they actually had to it. If you think about it, so odds and evens basically says before the game starts, they'll either throw out a zero, which is a clenched fist, or one, right? And they'll before the game even starts, they'll decide whether which person is odd, which person is even, and then the sum of the fingers out. So you can either pick like one finger or zero fingers. Is basically the sum of the fingers. If it's even, you'll go to the even person. If it's odd, you'll go to the odd person. And it's a 50% chance of getting either even or odd. So yeah, that solves the problem. So good job. Yay. Okay. Right. So if you haven't tried the problem, or you think it's too boring, or you think you're above this, right? So you have another problem which is a bit more difficult. Uh, let's bring this to actually like video games and game development, right? So now the problem is, for example, the game genre is an RPG, right? And the issue of this RPG is that people are abusing a. It's not even a bug. I would say it's a feature. So in this RPG, you can kill chickens, right? And the issue of killing these chickens is that these chickens drop feathers. And these feathers can then be sold at a merchant nearby, like very close to the vicinity of the chickens, for for a quite high amount of gold, right? So and the chickens will respawn at the start of every day. So all the player needs to do is just sleep or fast travel to another location and then fast travel back, and the chickens will be respawned, and then they can kill the chickens again and get like a bunch of gold, right? And the problem that you need to solve is because with a bunch of gold, this player can basically be like overpowered. So as you can see from this picture, right? So the problem is how do you manage this problem? Like what would you do as a game designer if a player if this was a very prevalent bug in the game? Yeah. So this is basically the problem statement. Yes. Bad. Okay. No spoilers. Okay. Yes. This was a Witcher 3 problem. Okay. I'm surprised someone knew about this. Uh, but yeah, just think about it. Yes, there is someone did um say the actual solution, but you can yes, it's the cows exactly. So instead of having like the cow killer to come and like or in this case the chicken killer, right? Think of other solutions as to how to stop this problem because they tried over like I think it was like 6 or 7 iterations of different ways to manage this problem before sending it in. Yeah. So just think about it, right? Give yourself like okay, I'm gonna put a timer for like 3 minutes. Yeah, and just think about like how you solve this problem as a game designer. Okay, I'm just gonna read like a bunch of shit, right? Patch notes. Chickens have a chance to break your PC on them. Okay. Introduce chicken feather stock market and inflation into the game. Okay, very interesting. what would be some detrimental effects to whatever you suggested? Like what if I actually have a chicken fat in the stock market? You know? Make merchants good worse than the one you get from the overworld slash bosses. Okay, yeah, that's actually a very good, that's a very reasonable idea. You can basically cap the amount of like very OP gear that the shop merchants have. Yeah. Make feathers lose value, supply demand. Yes. Okay. Also very good. You can include like barter trade and stuff, which is actually what the F guy F dot guy. Wait, no, it's F dot because I'm recording, but oh, it's actually in F dot. Okay, okay, cool. Um, let's see. GTA stock market. Okay, sure. Yeah. All those who have not said anything, please type in something. Breath of the Wild Blood Moon. Okay, if you haven't typed anything, please at least try and unmute yourself and type out and think about a solution, or just type it in the chat. Yeah, you'll be a better designer if you actively think about problems. Make killing chickens too many, killing too many chickens in one place will cause you like bad omen in Minecraft. Now all the chickens are hostile to you. Very very interesting idea. I think this is the first time I also like saw this solution. Very, very good. Very good. Very good. Very interesting. Every chicken you kill makes you take 0.5 more damage than the next 24 hours. So you farm chicken if you want, but only if you accept the risk. Okay, okay. Actually, yeah, I really like that solution. The risk and reward thing. Just limit the number of feathers you can trade each day. Very good. Okay. Yeah, yeah. That brings like the human like merchant into it because there's always a big problem as to like why would someone buy 20 kg of rotten tomatoes in BG3 just to get bankrupted, you know? Dark Souls 2, enemies disappear forever unless you make a pact. Okay, enemies disappear forever unless you make a pact that makes the game more difficult for yourself. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, 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 we could reinstate that. That's fair, that's fair. So we make it like a Souls-like RPG. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, yeah, I'm just gonna give like 30 seconds for any lasting people. Um, just throw your answer in, doesn't matter. This is not an actual class. You will not get penalized. No one's gonna judge you. Add chicken natural selection and random mutations. Sure, sure. Make chickens like seven children unkillable because we love chickens. Oh, hmm. Actually, that was also a solution I haven't thought of. Making the chickens unkillable. Oh my god, that's scary. Okay, 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 okay. Alright, so we're done. If you ever answered, please, I hope that you have at least thought about the problem a bit and come up with your own solution. But yeah, this was actually a real problem in The Witcher 3. So, but instead of chickens, it was cows. So, okay, or the original solutions to the problem was essentially, first of all, they tried to, what's the first fix? They tried to like nerf the gold value of leather, but then because of that, the whole economy of Witcher 3 got screwed up, so they didn't roll out that change. Then after that, yeah, make chicken grind. Yeah, every chicken kill makes the chicken stronger. So eventually, what they had to do was they created a monster. So in Witcher 3, right, the whole idea of the Witcher is you go around and then solving missions and killing and completing quests and killing these monsters. So these monsters are basically like evil beings. And because the universe had a bunch of like evil beings in them, it was a great idea to just like, put the every time if you kill like a lot of cows in this field, there's some law behind it where it will attract this guy. He's notoriously known as the bovine killer. So bovine being cow. So because he's in the law wise, he's attracted to the scent of blood. The Witcher, this guy will attack the Witcher if like the guy kills enough cows, you know. So it's like a trade off between. Let me see if you can find like a bovine killer Witcher. Yes, yes. Okay, the bovine defense was yeah, this thing. Haha, that is quite funny, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it was this little guy. He attacked you if you killed too many cows. Also, so in the end, they I think they removed it, right? Yeah, yeah. It got the other problem was that the monster actually the gear from the monster actually sold more compared to the cows. So that was another problem that they had to solve also. And yeah, they changed it until like the not sure what the change was. Either they removed the cows or they just after you kill the cows you have to wait like extremely long time till they respawn or something. Yeah. And the fan base went crazy over this idea and essentially it was a cut in Gwent. So yeah, it was a cut in the card game in Witcher. Yeah. Okay, very cool. Right. Next up we have the MDA framework. Okay, so what the MDA framework is a way to frame your ideas. For example, let's say I'm making a short platformer, right? First of all, I have to think about the mechanics of the platformer. So I mean, I don't really think I have to read it out to you, but like, just read the slide. The mechanics of a platformer, or let's since that's my example later, let's use something else. MDA mechanics of a let me think, let me think. What's a game that you kids play that's not very easy? Okay, how about Hello Neighbor? Hello Neighbor? Wait, is it Hello Neighbor? No, it's doppelganger game. That's not many. This one. That's not many. Okay, okay. So all you young kids probably have seen this game before. So this game is called That's Not My Neighbor, and essentially you are working as a guard, to try and break in or try and control the flow of people in the building. So the problem when it comes where people are actually not who they say they are, and they are essentially doppelgangers or aliens, right? So let me see if I can go to a very obvious example. Yeah, yeah, obviously this person's like a doppelganger and stuff. A lot British postulate. Yes. Um. So yeah, these are all the so explaining the NDA of this game, the mechanics of the game is trying to check the information of the people coming up to you, and also to whether to approve or reject them. So reject them means turn them away, approve means let them in. Yeah. Dynamics of the game is it's kind of messy, but essentially is what ties different things together. For example, in this game, I have information, right? I can check information. That's one mechanic. I can reject or approve people. That's another mechanic, right? The dynamics between the two is that how these two mechanics relate to each other. So because I check the information, I can then prove whether that person is legit or a doppelganger, and then that leads me to whether I should approve or reject them, right? And aesthetics is basically that lah. So haha, yeah, there's honestly not much to say from aesthetics. And why I really like this framework is because the MDA framework is widely used in um, a bunch of game stuff, I guess. Because when you first think of a game idea, right, you you either think of the mechanics, the dynamics, and aesthetics. You either think of the mechanics first or the aesthetics first. For example, let me think. If let's say you wanted to create a game, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, I want to create an open world RPG. Boom, mechanics. You're talking about like, oh, the player can walk, the player can craft, and then you following that you can think about, oh, crafting gives me better weapons which allows me to do better in combat. So you think about the dynamics, how the different systems relate to each other. And finally you probably think about the art because you're a programmer. You'll be like, I have to actually have to draw and make it look nice. Okay, on the other hand, there are some people, most of them artists, they'll essentially start from the aesthetics first. For example, oh, I really want to make a cyberpunk themed game. I have no idea what genre is it, but I know I want it to be cyberpunk. So you start going in Blender, 3D modeling stuff, playing with lighting, what have you. And then you think about, this like place looks like a really cool bowling alley. I might want to have mini games in the game. So you think about like what exactly the different dynamics between like different buildings, for example, after you did the art, and then it will lead to mechanics. So most of the time I tend to tell people to go like mechanics, dynamics, aesthetics, and stuff the other way around, because code is reusable, art may not be. So yeah, that's I have to say about this. Are any questions? Any questions? Going once, going twice. Okay. All right. Now let's talk about player experience. Player experience in the game. When it comes to game designs. Hmm. Okay, it's a bit. This might be a bit harder, but does anyone know these two games on the screen now? Anyone knows these two games on the screen right now? Okay. Any, yeah, yeah, correct. It's Ori, and the right one. a- Anyone? Okay. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that plays indie games in this entire call, which is a bit sad. But anyone else? Hmm. Okay, interesting. Wait, I'll ask after this meeting. But okay, so basically the game on the right is what was it? Nobody Saves the World. So you see this horse in the picture. Essentially, you play as a character whose name is called Nobody, and the whole gimmick of the game is actually to transform into different types of characters and then play as them. So you can transform to a turtle, a horse. Late game you can have a dinosaur, and if you buy the DLC, you can do a dragon, which I did. Um, yeah, so that's how the game is played. So talking about the player experience, game designers really have to think about what exactly do you want the players to feel, or really experience, sure, in a moment. For example, if you're Ori in this scene, do you want to feel a sense of like curiosity, of a sense of wonder, like, oh, I'm very curious, what does this do, like what this glowing thing in the middle do? There's light coming from the top, so it's like there's sort of like a subtle hinting to go up towards the roof of this tree. In the bottom picture, you can think about like, oh, nobody says the world. I see like a bunch of enemies surrounding you. You feel a stressful situation. Uh, you need to like challenge yourself to beat all these enemies. It's like a gauntlet experience. Like you can clearly see from these two pictures, like they really talk about the different uh, feelings that you get out of playing these games. Yeah. All right. Last one is gameplay loops. Anyone knows what this game is? Anyone? Yes, very good. It's Moonlighter. Oh my gosh. Okay, so in Moonlighter, why I like to talk about the gameplay loop of this game is because in Moonlighter you play as a normal dungeon crawling. So on the right side you see there's a normal dungeon crawling thing where you slay monsters and get a bunch of gold and get the monsters loot. But in the daytime, right, you're actually running a shop. So you can actually, there's a whole economy in this game, and you have to like influence demand and supply by cutting the by like selling some stuff cheaply or whatever, and in turn you get more money, and using that money you can upgrade the town or upgrade your gear and then go deeper in the dungeons to get better loot. So as you can see here, there's a huge like gameplay loop which is like, oh, sell stuff, get better gear, go back to fight more stuff, get better loot, sell better loot, get better returns back, and this just goes like on and on and on until like the player is bored of playing the game and just quits. So gameplay loops like Moonlighter also influence other games. So anyone knows what this is? It was made in Singapore. I also worked on it. Okay. Okay, probably you all haven't heard of this. So this game is called Cuisineer, and this is one of the early development builds that I actually worked on during like my year two summer internship. So the game is actually out right now. I think there's a sale coming soon, so don't buy it yet. But you can wishlist if this like cutesy art style really um entices you. So it's the same game. Essentially it's the same game as Moonlighter, but as you can see, the art is very different. Like Moonlighter has this like a 2D top-down style, but Cuisine is more like isometric view. And instead of selling the gear and loot drops from the monsters, you actually, once you kill a monster in the dungeon, you can pick it up and actually cook the monster. So it's a bit like delicious in the dungeon, kind of. Yeah. and you have to manage your time and resources and everything. Yeah. So, cousin, yeah, you can go check it out. So, gameplay loops influence other games. Yeah. So I will preface this by saying like the best games out there, or like the best game designers are the best thieves, because they steal the best parts about all games that really talk to them, like, oh, I really like this mechanic, I'm gonna steal it, right? But they also put their own spin onto it, right? You can't really say that you're skilled if you just keep copying. But if you really think about it and like think about how exactly the way it's designed, why exactly it works for you, and you tweak it a little bit, you can be one of like you can join the ranks of good designers out there too. And the only way you do that is through practice. So go make more games. Yes. Okay, what is not game design? Who knows what this is? Confirm got some weebs in the chat. I see a lot of China names. Who knows what this is? What game this is? Yes, very good. Genshin Impact. Right. So you don't really have to play Genshin to recognize like what this UI screen shows, which is there's this like thing that says like spend 50 primo gems to replenish 60 original resin. So it's an energy system. So this energy system allows you to go into dungeons and collect like the game gear essentially. So, why? Okay, the first question is okay. If you still don't know what this is, essentially, think about like any shitty mobile game that you've played. This is basically the energy system. One energy gets restored every 2 minutes or something. Um, and then you need energy to complete missions or do like the main gameplay loop in the game. So the question is, why would they put this system in when if it's when on the other hand you could just like, oh, I'm just gonna keep playing the game, like if you don't have the system, you won't you have like better retention rates, right? So think about why exactly they have games have energy systems. So I'm gonna give you like 3 minutes, so just think about it. Why do games have energy systems? Keep the suggestions coming. I'm like I'm gonna slowly think about like each of these points, and then uh yeah, just keep the suggestions coming. Keep typing, keep typing. I see people typing. Just keep going. Yes. I see some people haven't typed yet typing, so I'm very excited. Yeah. Okay, let me just read through this one by one. Need to drip feed you. Okay, sure, drip feed, yeah, blah blah blah. Have players come back every day. Okay. Give off players to build a habit. Yeah. Very good points. So you want players to basically build a habit. Microtransaction money. Yeah, also correct. Sure. Legal. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is very interesting. Legal potentially need to restrict younger players more time. PC. Very cool. Because EA does it too, systems which spin a wheel. Okay. Oh wow, because a game is not finished developing. Okay. Force players to actually explore the map. Limit progress like The Witcher just now. Yeah, all these are very good points. I would say the main so I was talking to this game developer who's a game designer at Gumi for the past like 5 years, and essentially he broke it down. Like he told me about this, and I never really thought about it because every time I see like all these energy games, I always thought like these games are really stupid because why would you limit the player energy at all? Like okay, then maybe it's a money grab, right? But the main um problem that actually that the energy mechanic solves is actually protecting the players from burnout. So I think a lot of people have been I think some people have talked about it. Yeah, like limit the amount of progress you can make in a game. It's really about like burnout. Make sure that people because if you think about let me think. If you think about like Zelda Zone Zero, right? Uh okay, maybe people haven't played that. Okay, imagine you're playing like a combat game, right? And the gameplay is very similar because all you do is go in, right? You choose the characters that you want, beat the stage, come out, earn the rewards, right? The gameplay loop gets boring really fast, and especially if even in like games like Hades, right? You you might not play Hades for like 5 6 hours in a row. After a while, it gets kind of the same, especially if you're really bad at the game, right? So it's really to protect players from themselves and about the burnout lah. Yeah. Yeah, but all the other points are very, very valid. It's all about keeping a habit, making players like log in every day and to limit the progress in the game. Yeah, level design. So there are two images on the screen now. One is Minecraft and one is Cyberpunk. And level design can all be about like how you're designing certain buildings. Like for example, the one on the left. I actually want to try building something that looks so cool. In Minecraft. And the one on the right, and how exactly do you design a quest in Cyberpunk? So in Cyberpunk, they have different specializations. So as you can see here, there's like a net runner. I don't know if you can see like the slide, but there's like a net runner, a body, and a technical, right? It means that this because the game is so diverse and you have a different build, everyone have chooses like different builds, right? We have to have an option open for every single possible like design of build to 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 make the game seem more fair, in terms of um how is this they to make the game more fair in terms of like oh I'm rewarded by building a certain way because I like to because for example if you have a person who goes like oh I really like playing stealth characters and you have a person that goes, "Oh, I really like playing like shoot them, gun them down, right?" And like the mission is, "Oh, please infiltrate this warehouse," right? The stealth player obviously gonna treat it like a stealth mission and slowly assassinate everyone and play like hitman, but the other guy is gonna go in guns blazing, right? So on one hand, you also cannot reward yeah, okay, I will preface. Let me think about this. You cannot reward players for certain play styles if you think that the level just doesn't allow. For example, if you're gonna break into a very, very heavily guarded fortress, the player that like guns down everything better be have like the good all the upgrades done. If not, then she deserves to get ran over, so yeah, think about like the level design, think about how players normally in very simple games like you'll be building for level one games later on if you decide to join will be very simple games, but always think about like how exactly we want to face certain levels. Yeah. Okay, MDA framework. Let's do a little exercise. So, what are the M, D, and A's of Super Mario? So, Super Mario is this game over here. Um, yeah. So everyone just like put down what like one MDA each. If you don't know if you forgot what MDA is, it's over. Is it? Yeah, over here. So, what are the MDAs of Super Mario? Just put it in the chat. Haha, ha. Trick question. Tricked you into learning, spacing out your learning. Okay, I'm just gonna try. I'm trying this like new thing. So yeah, what are the MDAs of Super Mario? Give me like one M, one D, one A. I'll give you all like 3 minutes. Yeah, start the timer now. One D, one M, one D, one A. Super Mario. Okay, we have some answers. Run and jump. Jump over obstacles and on enemies. NES pixel art. Ah, okay. Okay, remember D for dynamics? Okay, a lot of people get confused. Remember for dynamics, the different you have different mechanics in game. For example, if you jump on a Goomba, the Goomba dies. But if you jump on like a spiked shell turtle, you die. So that's under mechanics. Dynamics is how they actually interact with the different things. So instead of saying yeah, so instead of like enemies and different platforms, it will be that's more of like defining what things are in the game. Think about like how they relate to each other, like what exactly the the enemies do to Mario if they touch him, for example. Yeah. Okay. Mechanics jump, many types of jumps, jumping and hitting things. Uh-huh. Okay, good. It's a me Mario. Very good, very good. Okay. Yeah. Anyone else wants to type and add in? Yeah, noise made for game overs. Yeah, all of these actually all tie into the aesthetic part. So a lot of people mention the NAS pixel art. A lot some people yeah showcasing it as something to avoid. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. So aesthetic can actually give rise to hinting at the player like, hey, you're not supposed to do certain things. For Super Mario and normal Game Boy games, because the space to run these games were actually so little. Like if I remember, it's like 200 MB or something, or even lesser probably. They had to make do with repeating a lot of the art and just changing the color. So instead of having like a sprite sheet of a bunch of different characters, you have like green turtle, red turtle, etc. Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna give you like 30 more seconds. Mechanics, power ups, dynamics, defeating enemies, aesthetics, background art. Yeah, also valid, very valid. Mario will still not. Mario will not get hurt if you step on the enemy's hitbox. Hmm. I would say that's more like a dynamic more than than a mechanic. Mechanics are like the base building block in the game, right? So oh my god, that scared me. Okay, so mechanics are essentially things that like if I don't have this in the game, it doesn't make it that game. If I don't have jumping, right, it won't be Super Mario. So if I don't have the player moving, yeah, I won't have Super Mario. So yeah. Yeah, so if you're trying to still grasp the idea, a example of MD of Super Mario would be as Mario, right? I can pick up fire flowers and spit fire, right? The dynamics is that if I do certain things to enemies, they will die. So if I jump on the Goomba head, Goomba dies. If I shoot a fireball at a Goomba, Goomba dies. Right? And a bunch of enemies have a bunch of different ways to handle them. So that's how the dynamics is. Aesthetics are don't really say like it's like pixel art and sounds and all those stuff. So yeah. Okay. Oh, we probably reached the end. So what's next on the list and how you can work on design. So first of all, you can prototype your own games. So like a board game or video game. Think about how some things you improve about your favorite game, and is it possible to do it? And also play more games and immerse yourself in all that you can because Yeah, if you haven't tried the demo, please try demos of Chansana. This is one of the best. It won like a few educational awards because the designers, when they designed this game, they really thought through how people like learn a language. So a short premise to this is basically like you are in a tower, like it's modeled off Tower of Babel, and you have to learn the language of people. So yeah, as you can see here, you have to play yourself. Yeah, just play yourself. If you want to discuss about Transana, you can also do so like in the Discord. I'll probably put a thread for it. Then let me think. Hmm. Okay, I think we finished all the content. Okay, I'm like 1 hour early, but yes, I finished all my content that I wanted to do today. Does anyone have any questions? If not, then I can open like some discussion questions, and you all can like think about it and discuss. Anyone has any questions from today? Okay, I'm just gonna like go in. If not, I'm just gonna type like. Technically, I have like all these, but doesn't really make sense if you're not in person. So let me think. Hmm. Okay, game design exercise. Okay, game genre. Let's put it abandoned island with drug smugglers. Okay, so I want you to create an enemy that allows different play styles to subdue. Then, for example, we have uh, stealth players, run and gun players, and snipers. Right, right. And the theme is basically like this abandoned island with drug smugglers. So let me just put like abandoned island with drug smugglers. It's a shitty looking island. Sure, sure. This West Island? West looking island? Yeah, okay, sure. Um, Alright. If you have any more questions, just let me know in the chat. And if not, you can try this game design exercise. And I'm gonna stop recording here. So if you are seeing this recording, you can also try this exercise and then put it in the threads I'm gonna post now. Okay. See ya for the people in the recording. Yes.